Hi friends, I wanted to do another hopefully quick video showing you how I'm using my Erin Condren LifePlanner horizontal version for work purposes. I am a consultant from home and I do development work, and it's very much on an as I can get to it basis. Of course there are deadlines, but I mean I'm not working 8 to 5 every day. I'm working in the evenings or on the weekends or just whenever I can find the time. So I threw this cover on here, but this is actually a 2016 planner. It came from Staples. It was on sale because I just got it in the month of July. So I've been using it for the last half of the year. Now, what I'm going to share with you today, I've mocked this information up in the January month since I wasn't using this anyway. I didn't want to share any actual client data with you, but I have been using this for the last month for my actual work, and I'm loving it. Like, it's really turning out well, and it's just, I don't know, it's just really working well for me. So I felt like I wanted to share it. I know there's tons of videos out there about using these planners for personal purposes, but I wasn't aware of very many that were for work purposes, so I thought I would share. So first, on the monthly layout, I simply use page flags to kind of put down big deadlines. And again, like I said, I'm a developer. I'm actually doing report development, so I just put report 1 is due, report 2 is due, and report 3 is due. These are page flags, the sticky notes from up here in the front, which I love, by the way. I use these in my personal planner as well, and they are the Erin Condren like snap-in sticky notes. This is from last year's collection, I believe, and I have the new collection in my personal planner, this year's collection. But so these actually stay as loose flags, and that way as deadlines change you can just pop them up and move them to the next month. But once I went ahead and taped these down, and I don't have it with me, but just like a adhesive roller to make them flap, because once I feel like they're in there to stay, I don't like them to like be flapping around. So the other thing I just kind of put here, goals. If I had any goals, I would try to put them here. So like I need to be working 10 hours a week, but my kids have really been making that difficult for me. So I put in a goal, work 10 hours a week. So I'm trying to figure out what I need to do to make that happen. I was trying to do it without having to get childcare, but I don't know if that's possible. So I think I'm going to start having some childcare. That way I can actually get to my at least 10 hours a week goal. So if there were other things you were trying to do, be more concise in my emails, or work on my presentation skills, or just, whatever kind of goals you might want to have for the month, this is a good place to put that. And again, this is purely work related, so this is nothing personal in this planner. Then I chose the horizontal layout, and I love this because of like area to take notes. If this was an hourly or a vertical, I wouldn't really feel like I could take notes. So the thing I like about this is actually being able to keep track of what I did for that day. And here I've used a different color, and I'm writing down there's a question I need answered. And then I keep track of my hours, and even though I mocked this up, this is actually what I did in my real life. I started with these stickers from the back of the book, which are fine, they're great, and there's no issue using those for that. But then I loved how these sticky notes from the front fit perfectly in this square. So I actually switched and started using the sticky notes, and I love that. But obviously the point here is just to keep track of my hours. At the end of the day, it's just really great to sit down and do a kind of a brain dump summary of what I worked on. And there's always, with my life being so haphazard and different, and like I'm rushing off the moment the kids go to sleep to get a couple hours of work in, I can't ever remember. So if someone was to call me the next day and say, what's the status? What are you working on? My mind would be completely blank, just because something else has taken my attention for the day at that point of the call. So this way I can look back at this and say, hey, this is what I worked on. This is where I'm at. These are the issues I'm facing. So basically the same idea here. They do need to know how much time I'm working on individual reports. So I've separated that here. And then I do a total for the week at the bottom. At the end of every week, I do have to go in and enter my time into an electronic system. So this is just a quick way for me to double check that I entered the right amount of time, got the same amount of total hours on the screen when I submit my time. And we go on again, more questions. Otherwise, it's just basic notes. And if I did have like a big meeting that was going to take more time, and since I'm not working every day, I could, watch this put this down, like block this out with some washi tape and continue my notes if I wanted to. I also had a big meeting actually that I knew I would have lots of notes for, so I just for that particular one jumped back to this first monthly page, and that works for me. You know, I'm only working one project, and like I said, I'm not working a 40-hour work week, so I only have these specific deliverables, so this is enough space for me. I know this might be a little more difficult to use this for someone who's working 8 hours a day and trying to track everything, but in that case, I don't think you should track everything. I think you would use this as, like I said, a high level, what I accomplished today or what I'm in the middle of working on. And as I was working on this, I actually thought back to when I was full-time and you had to do like the performance development plans. And I don't know about you guys, but at like half month, or like 6 months and a year, we usually had to kind of work on our performance development plans, or they call them all different things. But basically your goals for moving forward or for getting a promotion, those types of things, and to kind of track that you're doing your job properly. And I never could like really remember things, and it was always like at the end of the year and you're trying to say, well, did I meet this goal? And you need to put actual proof that you met a goal. So perhaps if you had kept a log every day of something that you accomplished that day, or something notable that happened that day, you could refer back to this and include it in your performance development plan. So I think if I ever go back to full-time work, that is something I would try to do. Keeping track of notes like this, of course, but also stuff like that, like if I'm just needing to put down a general note for the day. And then the last thing here is I do invoice. Since I'm kind of an independent consultant, I do my invoices to get paid at the end of the month. I need to submit those. So I basically summed up all these totals at the bottom, and it was 24 hours, and that's what my invoice should say. And all my timesheets that I had submitted throughout the week should match. So I'm loving this system. I love the horizontal. I'm of course only using it for the last half of 2016. I very much think I will continue to use one in the future if I continue to do some work. And that's that. I hope you maybe got something out of it, or got a new way or an idea of using it for your work. And that's all from me. Thanks, guys. Bye.